Well, good evening. This is Gina Tudela, and thanks for joining in tonight. I'm going to be showing the Utterly Amazing Bundle. It is wonderful. Anyways, so here we go. This is the stamp set. Now, the only thing I'm using out of it tonight, because I'm using all the DSP paper, is this stamp. And I didn't want these, so I used the sentiments from the butterfly set. One it says happy birthday, one it says hello, and the other one says for you. So I wanted to use something that can be, that way you can use two of the cards for anything. Right? So anyways, this is a photopolymer stamp set. That means it's see-through. So when you get it, you take it off of here, keep the hard plastic piece, place the images here, and then cover it up with the hard one and throw this flimsy one away. Okay, this does have a set of dies that goes with it, which will cut some of them in the DSP, but not all of them. And then this is grass, this is bubbles, this is a vine, and this can be a slide or a log. This is a log. This image here is for this image, this one right here, and then this one here is for this one, and that one is for this one, and this one is for that one. And we do have these in the paper. And then this cuts out fish, these are rocks, and these are bigger fish, and that's it. Okay, and I usually transfer these to a magnet sheet, and I keep the things together. All right, the DSP is so cute. But let me show you the cards, and then we'll get busy. Okay, let me take a swig of my water so I can wet my little whistle. Okay, let me get the paper out so you can see this. I already used up one whole package, so I've got to cut this one open so you can see what it looks like. And just in case any of y'all didn't know this, on the back of your DSP, it used to be wrote in the catalog, but it's not anymore. It is right here. It tells you what cardstocks it goes with. Balmy Blue, Basic Gray, Calypso Coral, Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, Garden Green, Gray Granite, Lemon Lime Twist, Lost Lagoon, Old Olive, Pecan Pie, Pool Party, and Pretty Peacock. A lot of choices there. So, anyways, here we go. Let me get this out so you can see the pretty paper. All right, so here's one side. And then the back side of that is where the fish come in. Cool. And then the next piece is the little otters that are swimming. And then on the back side is the vines that have the fish in it, which is one of the ones I used. And here, if you want to do a scrapbook page or make a long big card, you've got two themes here. So, but you would have to use 12 by 12 paper. But isn't that cool? You could do a panorama card with this. But on the opposite side, that's where the river rock comes in, which is one of the ones I used as well. Okay. And we go to the next sheet. And here are the little swimming otters. All different sizes. Now I'll be using a couple of these on one card. And on the other side of it is the water. Okay. One more. Excuse me. And here's the otters. Aren't they precious? They are just so precious. And on the other side is just like a marble background. So So it has various uses for this paper. And we got one more set. And I use this one, the vine. And then on the other side is flowing water, like a tide. Okay. Alright, so let's get started with our cards. I'm making 3 tonight. The very first one is going to be a simple one. The next one's going to be a casual. And the last one's going to be an avid. Okay. Move everything out of the way so we're getting started. So here is the Eat Simple card. And you can do it 2 different ways. And that's the reason why I wanted to show. Because this is one side of the paper. And then here's the other side of the paper. And then I wanted to bring the vine in. So when I had the fish flow, depending on how the fish are going, I moved the paper over here and put the sentiment there. And stamped that fish. And these pearls are beautiful. Irregular pearls. Aren't those? This is also in that suite. And my poor kitty wanted to play with this Lost Lagoon soft cording. Oh yeah, she wanted to play with this. This is so pretty. So, anyways, and that as well is in it. And you get, I'm trying to think, it is, I can't see how much is there, but it's a decent amount. But I bought 2 rolls of it, because I knew I was going to do it for class. So, now if you flip the paper over, then you're going to have the otter theme. So I didn't want to cover the otters up, so I put the greenery over here, and then put the sentiment here. So I'm going to do this one tonight, because most people liked this one today when I did it in West Bremerton. So, first off, you need a piece of gray granite, and it needs to be 4 1/4 by 11, because it's going to be a landscape card. And then we're going to go ahead and match up the 2 corners, top and bottom. You just want to press in the center, or you can pre-score it, whichever is easiest for you. And use your bone folder, or you can just use your finger. Whatever is easiest for you. If you don't have a bone folder, just use your hand. But always start in the center so it doesn't make your paper get all those ridges. You do need a piece of just regular basic white, 4 by 5 1/4. In the new catalog, the thick white is going away. It's only going to come out in a 12 by 12. It's not going to be in an 8 1/2 by 11 anymore. So just want to give you a heads up. But we do have a beautiful beige. If any of you have not bought that paper, it is very nice. It reminds me of our old natural ivory paper that we used to have a long time ago. So this one's 4 by 5 1/4. This is for the inside to stamp a sentiment or write a saying. This is the DSP. And then here's the side that has the otters. And now you can choose whether you want this side with the otters or this side. And I'm going to keep this side, and I'm going to put the other paper here. This is 4 by 5 1/4. Don't think that you have to do a whole bunch of work. This is a beautiful card. And I used our circle punches, 1 3/4 circle punch out of the Balmy Blue scrap, and a 2-inch circle punch out of the Old Olive. And then this was stamped in Old Olive and Balmy Blue. Okay, so the first things first is I'm going to lay that here. We don't want that. It doesn't look right, right? So we want to glue this down first, just in case we don't get it centered right, and we can trim it. So let me get my wet glue ready. I love this stuff. A little goes a long way. Try not to get too close to your outside edge. And just line it up in the corner and bring it to the other corner. And just slowly work it. And then you can turn it over and look, and you've got it. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and add glue to the back side. And then we're going to place this right on our gray granite. And center it best as possible. Doesn't have to be exact. No card's perfect. Art's not perfect. Remember that. Be kind to yourself. Okay. Let me go ahead and glue my sentiment in. I usually don't stamp the inside till I get ready to use it, or I give the cards to people, and that way they can put whatever they want on the inside. This leaves it open. And I already have it prepped. Now we're going to go ahead and put the glue on the smallest place first. And then I'm going to line it up evenly as best as possible. And then I'm going to add some liquid adhesive to the back of the old olive. And then I got to decide, where do I want to place it? Do I want to place it up here? Yeah. Bring it in so a couple of the cattails still show. And then I want to bring in the regular Riverside Irregular Pearls. And I'm just going to use one on this card. The next two I'll be using 3. Let me grab my Take Your Pick tool. And grab this little pointy. And then I want to use the blue one. Just get up underneath so I can get the glue dot, because these are self-adhesive. And that's all there is to it. See how quick and easy that card is? It's just getting it prepped and ready to go. Okay. So, now, on to the next one. I'll move this out of the way. So here is the next one. This is our casual card. And it's showing the otters that I cut out. So, anyways. This is, I pre-cut ahead of time my paper. And it was 5/8 of an inch by 2 and 5/8, or 3/8, 2 and 3/8 of the balmy blue, and 7/8 of an inch by 2 and 5/8 of the Calypso Coral. Or you can just freehand it, whatever works best for you. Some other people have trouble cutting it straight, so I did that. I went ahead and pre-cut it for them ahead of time. So here's another piece of the basic white. This is 4 by 5 1/4. This is 4 by 5 1/4 of the DSP. And see, that was the back side. But we're using the one with the greenery and the fish in the background. And here's the balmy blue. This is 4 1/4 by 11, because this is a landscape card. And press down in the center and into the top. And just go ahead and use my bone folder to smooth that out. Then we're going to go ahead and add our multi-purpose glue on the back here. I just put a little bit in the center. I don't put much. just in case I need to pick it up. If I don't get it straight, that's why. Okay, get that centered best as possible. Okay. So on this one, we use a piece of the soft cording. I'm trying to find the long one. This is it. I'll give you the measurement for that. It was 12 inches. And what you're going to do, you're going to get a piece of tear tape ready. This is the easiest way of doing this cording. Excuse me. And what you want to do is you just wrap it around. Oh my gosh. Got a tickle. I'm trying to get this taped without it moving. There we go. Now I gotta slide it down. I've had a bronchitis last week, so I'm on the last day of my prednisone and antibiotic. So I apologize for that. I'm using that piece of tear tape. Here we go. Just don't overlap and peel one off before you go put the other piece on. Okay. There we go. And this is the easiest way to hold this cording down. Okay? And you just get it to where you want it to show. And now I'm going to peel this one off. And I'm going to add dimensionals. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And this is important. You want to put the saying down first. So that way you know where to put, so that way you have room to place your critters wherever you want. When I did my first sample card, I did not do that. And that is important. And it doesn't have to be straight. If you want to tilt it, you can. I'll tilt this one since I did the other one straight. Now, of course, you have to watch me free cut on these, but it won't take long. So when you free cut them, leave a little bit of a blue edge. Don't cut right on the image. It's okay. And just turn your paper as you go. It helps the paper move with you. And you will mount this down with either the fine tip glue or the multi-purpose glue, or you can use glue dots, but I want to have glue over the pretty much most of the image so it looks like it's just set into the paper. So whatever works best for you. Okay, let's get this. There's one done. There's one little one done. So then we're going to go and do this one. And like I said, this does have dies. So if you don't want to do it, but you still got to cut them out of the paper so you can use the dies. But not all of them have a die that goes with them. But this one does and this one does. And so does this one. And this one, they have little whiskers. So what I did is I just went in and around and just left that blue there. Went around the ears of the otter. You don't have to do real detail cutting. And this is pretty easy enough to do. And just like the feet, I ain't going all the way in there. Believe me. I understand wholeheartedly. That's good enough because it just blends in with that blue. Now let's do the last one. Thank you all for bearing with me as I go and cut these. So, if any of y'all have this, be sure to share. Let me know that you have this set and show a picture of what you have created with it. Love to see what everybody has done with this. This came out back in December. I just haven't had a chance to play with it. We had Celebration January and February. So, this is in the online store. And they have a lot of new product they brought in there. Just to give y'all a heads up, make sure you reach out to your personal demonstrator. This month is where we get to pre-order to have our catalog sent out to our customers. And you have to let your demonstrator know that you're interested in one if she doesn't know you are. So just send her a little message and let her know. That way she can get your name on the list so that way you can receive it when it's at the house. Right into your hands in the first part of April. Okay, here we go. Let's get the little wet glue and add this. There we go. So we're just going to do that. And I'm just going to have that one sitting just like he's coming up to get some fish. And this one here is laying up underneath with a full belly. Let's get some glue on this one so you can see how the blue kind of just blends right in. I have to get tissue. As soon as I get this one done. There we go, and there's a little one. There's Jason. Okay. Now let's bring in these Riverside Irregular Pearls. And I'm going to bring in this blue one. And they really stand out. One white one. And one gray one. And there is that card. Isn't that precious? So it doesn't matter where you place them. Okay? All right. Here is the Avid card. And I did one straight. And one kitty wampus. Honey, can you bring me tissue, please? All right, so you need a, thank you, found here. That's what I needed. And this is a piece of Calypso coral. This is 4 1/4 by 11. And you want to go ahead and fold this in half. And then smooth this out. And always start from the center and work out. I usually flip it on both sides and do it. Okay. And there's a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 of basic white. And we'll go ahead and glue that on the inside. And you don't have to, but you want to go ahead and have the piece cut and put it inside. You don't have to glue it. And just have it ready when you're ready to place your sentiment or message or write a note. And here's that river rock. And that was the other side that like had a big scene that could be used for a diorama or a big card. Okay, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. We're going to go ahead and mount that. No problem. Thanks for joining, Linda. You'll probably want to go back and watch them at your leisure, honey. These are cute cards, but I'll show you all 3 cards at the end. Okay. Okay, and then this is a piece of pecan pie, and this is measured at 2 1/2 by 4 1/4. And I did this one kitty wampus and this one straight. I'm going to do the next one kitty wampus. But I did it that way. I'm going to do it this way. So you want to go ahead and mount that first. Okay. And this is a piece of 2 by 4. Or is that 2 1/4? Hold up, let me tell you. 2 1/4 by 4. What we're going to do, I'm going to show you something. This is so cool. We're going to take our blending brush. This is the Avid card. I showed you a simple, which was basic. And I showed you a casual. Now I'm showing you an Avid. So you take your blending brush, start off your paper, and go in a circular motion all the way around. Do it a couple of times till you get the color that you like. And then we'll show you how I'm going to put, looks like little swirls in the water. You'll see. Okay. Alright. Ready? It's going to look like little rocks in the water or pebbles. I'll bring that up to you. Look at that. And it's going to be amazing because when you see it here, you don't even realize that's a piece of white paper. You think that's a DSP, right? It is so awesome. Ladies, we're just amazed at that today. So if you don't have a blending brush, I recommend them. It comes 3 in a package. You wash them out. It does take 24 to 48 hours to dry, but they're useful. You don't have to have one for every color. 3 are enough. Okay. So now we can go ahead and mount this piece. I try to show the cards that these are able for anybody to make. And that's the whole point. You don't want to make stuff that's too hard for most people. But these look like they took a lot of work, right? Okay, I don't know what it's saying. Oh, there it is. Okay, so now you got to watch for me to cut this out. Let me show you something. We don't want to cut all this pretty stuff. So when you do this, you just go in and around, Just turn your paper. Don't get close to your images, because your die cuts don't get real close either. So that's what you have to remember. And you're going to go in around here, because this one doesn't have a die cut. But they are just so, they are so cute. Oh my gosh. I'm going to go up and down. And I showed the paper at the very beginning, Linda, so you'll get to see all the sheets. Just came in and come all the way around. And go around. And then you're going to go over here. And then you're going to go get all that greenery. Keep that in there. Keep some of that sand in there. And come around that tail. Keep a little bit of that bottom in there. We're not going to get rid of any of that. Just try to steer clear from the close edge, because you can always smooth it around to fill in. That's what I'm doing. So I don't have too much, because I don't want it to seep out. Okay. There we go. And we're going to lay that in there. They look so happy, don't they? Press that down. Now, on this one here, this is scrapped saying, "For you," that's an early espresso, on Calypso Coral, and Balmy Blue is the backing. And then I took one of these cords. Let me tell you the measurement of this one. Oh, I got glue on my fingernails, so it's sticking to me everywhere. This is, oh my gosh, it wants to move on me. All right. 7 inches. That's what this is, 7 inches. And you take both of your ends together, and you're going to tie it once. Excuse me. Okay, there we go. All right, like that. And we're going to lay that on here. And it looks like a fish hiding behind the thing. No, I ended up with bronchitis, Linda. You missed that from the beginning. I just took my last prednisone pill and my last antibiotic today. Yep, I went to the doctor last Thursday. That's what happened. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to lay this on here. We're going to get a piece of tear tape. And we're going to hold this in place so it doesn't move on us, like that. And burnish it real good. And then you're going to add a dimensional here. And a dimensional here. And then we're going to peel those dimensionals off. All you got to do is do a little indent. They come right up. And then we're going to put our saying there. And then we're going to add our cute little pearls, our Riverside Irregular Pearls. We're going to put a blue one, a big white one up here, and then a gray one over here. I'll move that out of the way. But isn't that cute? There's one that way, one this way, and one straight. So, and this is the one I just did. And then there's this. That's the first one. This was the one before that. This was the very beginning one. So you could choose to have this side or this side, because this is the back side of this side. So this was the simple card, the simplicity card. That was the first one I did. And this was the casual card. So, hope you've enjoyed that. If you missed the very first part of it, you can always go back at your leisure. So, thank you so much. And till next time, take care. Have a wonderful evening. I'll be back here next Monday showing you a new bundle, new suite of something very cute or very fun. Take care. Bye-bye.